I'm out here on a really cold Wisconsin winter day scouting for deer for next season. It's my favorite time to scout because the marshes and swamps are frozen for the most part. What I did was I walked over from the public access point and I found the first deer trail that cut off the main road, and I'm following it back. There are no fresh tracks on this trail. I've noticed that when it comes to late season, a lot of times by me, deer don't really use marshes and swamps that much. They're hunkered down by the ag fields. And they're comfortable there, they're not moving far, but I'm not really hunting right now. I'm just looking for beds and early season hunting for next year. That higher ground is going to give good bedding where the deer can be protected from predators. And then behind there you can see some aspen higher grounds where these points come out into the marshes too. As I approach this area here, I'm still on this deer trail. As you can see, we've got a little 1.5-year-old rub. What I'm looking for on aerial maps, whether that's Google Maps or Onix, are trails in these marshes. They're really easy to find. Then I'm looking for not just trails moving back and forth, but I'm looking for what appears to be like higher ground or trees, kind of like an area I'm in right now. And then from that spot on Google Maps, you should be able to see like a spiderweb effect of trails leaving that area. That usually means there's a deer that beds there, and then they have different exit trails when they get up in the evening. Obviously this rub right there is not good buck sign. It's a little one, but shows you that they're at least using this trail right here. So I'm going to continue on. Favorite time to scout is in the winter because you don't fall through. Like if I was here in the summer, this would be water. I'd be standing in water, which is fine with rubber boots on. However, I like doing it because it's much easier walking. I'm getting to the end of this deer trail where it goes through the marsh and it's getting a little higher ground, as you can see by these trees. And something caught my eye over there to the left. Let's go take a look. This is a good sized rub right here on this point. Check that out. Again, it's always bigger in person. You got tide marks way up here, if you can see that. Little nicks in this aspen tree. I do see a trail going out this way that I could follow out into that way. I wonder what we'll find out there more in the swamp. It's hard to tell on camera. Oh, there's a rub. Never mind. He's going in here, rubbing up on that tree right there. That's a decent one. Okay, I came back from this mainland. Rub was over there, that big first one. Then there's this one. Let's continue up this trail. Yeah, but they're still using this year, which is surprising. Because usually they're by egg fields, like I said earlier. I've been following this trail all the way since those aspen trees where we saw that initial rub, that big one. Then we saw the one that was slightly smaller. And since then, not one of these trees out here have been rubbed. These are tamarack trees, and bucks do not mind at all rubbing on tamarack trees. As a matter of fact, they tend to prefer it. And I haven't seen one rub out here in the swamp. So he's walking out here and just not rubbing on these trees when he leaves at higher ground. Unless he shoots off to the side somewhere. Oh, a deer. That was a buck. Back in the cattails there. There's cattails out there, right there. Buck just ran across. It looked like a little one, like a yearling. I heard something when I was pausing in between explaining. When I was looking over there, like I heard something. I was like, it's probably just a bird or something silly like that. Then I saw a deer run out that way about 75 yards. So there is one bedding out here. It's probably that first one we saw, that little tiny rub. It looked like a little tiny fork or something, little forks like this. So my microphone, I think, broke on my phone, so I'll do the best I can. Sorry about the audio if it's not great right now. Since I was over there and lost attention to what's going on over there, I hurried up here really quick. I'm losing daylight to this pine stand right here and this pine stand over there. I could see it where I was standing over there talking to you last. From that pine stand, I just thought there's got to be a connecting point from there to there. And there is right here. This little pine stand here, it's about 1 acre big. There's a real nice rub there from this year, and a nice scrape and a couple other rubs through there. Really good spot for a stand location. You can sneak in there in the pines and set up. I'm going to follow this trail, which is very, very obvious, and see what I can find in those pines over there, because the buck is traveling from those pines to the pines over there. Let's see what we find over there. I'm here now where these pine trees were I showed you before, and we've got this rub here. Not terribly impressed, but this is where the trail leads us. I'm sure multiple bucks take this trail over here. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm following the edge of this pine island. The swamp is out that way. And dip down here, you may have already seen it. This is what we're looking for. Rubbed on this side, as well as this side over here. It's real tall on this side. Up there, all the way down over there. So, and if it's doing it now, next fall it's going to be obviously a year older. See a lot of foot traffic here, a lot of different foot traffic going on. I can kind of see the ground padded down over there from maybe a bed a week ago or so. Snow here. I can see a trail going out this way, out to the swamp. So he's coming from out there, walking over to this tree here, rubbing on it, going about his business. He's either going this way or back where we came from in the pine stand back there. So if you can see that rub in there we were just looking at, here's the pines behind me, and is the swamp back here. But there's a real clear edge trail, not in the pines, but just on the side of it, going this way, all the way back to those pines where we came from. So multiple trails here being worked. One coming in here, going out to the swamp, one going along the edge of these pines. I was thinking, like, what tree could I get in? I'm always looking at that when I find decent spots. And there are some options, really. I mean, these ones are too thick and bushy. You couldn't get a saddle stand here if you wanted to. If you carry on this way, just along this edge, if they're bedding out there, you're climbing in this tree, you're just gonna get busted. Sometimes it's better to sit back a little bit. There's another trail going in there. Being out here everywhere. It'd be really hard to shoot in here. That's a possibility for a stand when they come down this trail, come from out there. Another option, setting up back in that tree, because you've got the trail here this way leading out to the swamp, trail here leading out this way. You've got the pine stand back there where you saw all that foot traffic and activity. So if they are back in there, you have a shot from that tree. Here's the trail we walked in on from those pines over there, which almost looks like somebody did hunt in here years ago. Branches are broken off on one side, and all these other trees have branches. Maybe they gun hunted or something and they're hoping to shoot a long way that way, who knows. But that rubs back in there. A buck would leave and go out this way. We also have shooting down here to where I'm standing. But all the trails, all the tracks and stuff are back in here along the swamp edge. And then let's go back by the tree. And if we stand at the base of it, you can shoot out toward that stand of pines over there where we came from. Shoot down over this little whippy stuff into the swamp over there. Could actually be a pretty nice spot. Easy, easy, easy. No branches till you get up there, but you wouldn't even need to go that high. It'd be pretty hidden, nice and wide. This is a nice setup to shoot down in there when the bucks are crossing through. So that's an option as well. There's another bed in here. Yeah, deer really love these pines this time of year. A lot more sign once I got into these pines. A little bit of pee because of this thermal protection and the other cover it offers as well. This is a neat little area I found, far better than the first place, even though there was that huge rub at the beginning. It's been a struggle, and I hope you can appreciate the realistic value I try to put in my content to be more relatable to average people. Because this is how scouting goes a lot of times. I struggle, and then I become stubborn, and I keep looking, and I just end up wasting time. I started off using the mentality of I'm going to look for beds. I didn't find any. I found those two nice rubs, and that was it. I'm looking around the swamp, thinking I came out here to scout this swamp. And after about an hour of struggling, I came to the conclusion that I'm going to start looking for terrain that is very different from the terrain I'm in right now. I started looking around. I was like, there's a whole bunch of pine trees, and then there's a whole bunch of pine trees close to those ones that are probably connected by a trail in the swamp. They're close enough. It's like, I bet there's something there because that means there's diversity. So I thought, I'm just going to take a hike. I'm just going to walk all the way to the other end of the swamp. Not pay attention to really anything around me. Just book it, get there as fast as I can. Took me quite a while. And as soon as we got to that first pine stand, saw scrapes, saw rubs, saw more deer tracks, more scat. That was the ticket. That was the difference. So instead of struggling, wandering around the swamp for hours looking for beds on random trees, that was not working out in the area I was in. I was like, why would it work out 200 yards in that area of the swamp? It could have. I wouldn't know. I haven't been there. I said, let's get out of the swamp. Let's book it to these pine trees. And that's what changed this entire thing around. So I'm very pleased I did that. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. See you in the next one.